There is little doubt that Phillip Schofield is running scared today amidst the furore. Overnight, there has been an avalanche of new information with multiple damning headlines regarding the young age of his former lover when they met. 15. The schoolboy reportedly asked him for a job and Schofield later arranged an interview for him. It led to a position as an ITV production assistant when he turned 18. Some time afterwards, their affair began. Schofield met his future lover at the school in northwest England when he was in his late 40s. Some years later, the younger man became a production assistant on This Morning when Schofield was in his early 50s, and their ill-advised friendship, which grew into a relationship, started. Schofield had hired top law firm Mishkin de Reya to represent the young man, now in his mid-20s, presumably believing that he would keep quiet. But his former lover told lawyers that although he feared exposure, he was fed up lying about the relationship. Yesterday, GB News presenter and Daily Mail columnist Dan Wootton said that he told ITV about Phillip's affair with his young colleague in 2019 and urged them to investigate, but they dismissed it as malicious gossip. What followed looks like nothing short of a cover-up. However, there appears to be a new target emerging from the shadows. The focus seems to be closing in on the former This Morning star Phillip Schofield's bestie, Holly Willoughby, and many questions are now being asked. What exactly did she know about her co-host, and more to the point, how could she not know? And why has she kept quiet for so long? Insiders say that Schofield's admission could make Holly's future on the show untenable, and she took to Instagram to share a story to her 8.3 million followers stating it had taken time to process the bombshell revelations about her ex-co-host. A source said the situation could leave a huge cloud over Holly, even if she was genuinely hoodwinked by Schofield. There's a growing feeling it might be better both for her and for the program to move on so that a line can be drawn under things, they said. This Morning now faces an uncertain future, with staff at ITV left stunned by Schofield's revelation night, sparking suspicion of their bosses and questions over if and what they knew about one of their biggest stars and his much younger male friend. It is now thought Schofield will be replaced by Alison Hammond, who presents This Morning on Friday alongside Dermot O'Leary. Nadine Dorries today has piled pressure on Holly Willoughby and called for a probe into complaints made to ITV about Phillip Schofield. The former culture secretary also accused Schofield of abusing authority, power, and trust after he confessed to having an affair with the younger colleague and covering it up with lies. Schofield's co-host, Holly, who Ms. Dorries now claims has questions to answer, said that it was hurtful to discover she had been lied to when she confronted him over rumors of the affair. Sources close to the presenter said it had been a traumatic revelation for the This Morning host and a time of real sadness, as Schofield was her very close friend, but that she has absolutely no plans to leave the show. As Schofield's 38-year career lays in ruins, Ms. Dorries is the latest to speak out against the TV presenter. Calling for an investigation into the complaints made to ITV, she told BBC's Laura Kuensberg the fact that Phillip Schofield has made a rather grovelling apology to the Daily Mail in the form of an email. There seems to be this understanding that that's it now and everything will move on. It's not the case, I'm afraid. What it actually does is opens up more questions as to what happened. We know that there were complaints lodged with ITV over a long period of time. What happened to those complaints? I think the editor of the program, Martin Frizzell, has some questions to answer himself. And I'm afraid so does Holly Willoughby. How did that young boy, so young, get a job at ITV? What were the processes involved? What was the safeguarding in place for someone so young at that age? What contact was first made? Who contacted who? When asked whether presenters such as Schofield have too much power, Ms. Dorries, who has been presenting herself recently, added, "There are men particularly, who have positions of authority or trust and power, kind of think they are above the law and above those standards that the rest of us are held by and held to. I think there's absolutely an element of that which takes place." Describing her own experience of being on the This Morning sofa, she said, "It's never easy, as you know, Laura, being interviewed as a politician by a presenter or a journalist, it's never an easy experience. But I just found him to be quite bullying in his attitude towards the co-host who was standing in for Holly Willoughby. That made me feel more uncomfortable than answering the questions. When the camera was on me and I was talking, he started aggressively jabbing at the scripts with his hands, the pages were rattling. The co-presenter looked terrified. Her hard-hitting comments come as questions continue to mount over the future of ITV bosses, including CEO Carolyn McCall, and the popular daytime TV show, prompting the network to insist today that This Morning will not be axed. The Daily Mail has also reported that Holly Willoughby has questions to answer and that her team will need to come up with the goods amid the fallout. Holly, who had shared the This Morning sofa with Schofield for 13 years, said in a statement that he denied reports of the fling to her and that it had been very hurtful to now find out that this was a lie. With the future of the show seemingly in jeopardy, TV insiders have claimed that ITV bosses have 7 days to save This Morning. Reports this morning claim the scandal hit show will be axed. But sources told GB News it can still be rescued. One told them, "There's no doubt the future of This Morning is up in the air, but it's not dead yet. The program remains one of the jewels in the crown for ITV, so scrapping it is the last thing they'll want to do." The next 7 days are crucial. Executives need to prove that they are addressing the issues that have emerged following Phillip's revelations. If they can prove that to This Morning staff, and most importantly to This Morning viewers, then it could still be saved. The source said it's highly likely the show will need to address what is happening in tomorrow's episode. They know a huge number of people will be tuning in on Monday to watch. It will be like slowing down for a car crash. People will want to see how bad the damage is. So the pressure will be on, straight away, for the program to demonstrate to viewers that they are making changes which will win back their trust. They can't just bury their heads in the sand and stay on with the show. How they deal with this crisis is crucial. Piers Morgan has also weighed in on the current drama that ITV's This Morning is embroiled in. Writing in his The Sun column, Piers said, "Holly's a friend of mine, but beneath the benign butter wouldn't melt grin and touchy-feely motivational Instagram posts lurks a tough, ambitious, brand-protective cookie, which is one of the reasons why I like her." And Kim Woodburn also aired her views on the matter, stating that she doesn't feel sorry for Phillip Schofield and urges Holly Willoughby to quit. The outspoken star has slammed Holly Willoughby for aiding Phillip Schofield, as she insists she has no sympathy for him after news of his affair with his younger colleague broke. Kim, who has previously appeared on Celebrity Big Brother and I'm a Celebrity, slammed both of the This Morning stars as she accused Holly of aiding and abetting her former co-host Phil, 61. Speaking to Gadio, Kim shared that she didn't feel sorry for Schofield and thought he'd had the This Morning gig for too long. She also added that she believes it's time for Holly, 42, to leave the daytime show. As she explained, "I don't think she will have a choice. She isn't as nice as she makes out." Kim's outspoken outburst didn't stop there, as she also added that Holly had plotted to get rid of her ITV co-star when he is being too rude to people she never once told him he was being nasty, and she lets him do it and she aids and abets him. "I think she should go, and I think she will go." Kim, who has previously appeared as a guest on This Morning, also spoke about her time on the show. "You could tell he was king on that show. I mean, he was really ruling the roost. And whenever I've been on with him, he hasn't been very pleasant. He wasn't pleasant about my experience on Big Brother. He was downright nasty. He was sniggering at me." She added, "The game's up. Everything's out about him. It's all been exposed. He's gone." So, to conclude, with Phillip Schofield nowhere to be seen and Holly Willoughby, who is currently on a break keeping a low profile, Blinkerhole can't help but wonder how much worse is this scandal going to get. We have a feeling that further revelation would be forthcoming shortly, and this story is set to run and run. Holly had made a decision to take an extra week off work ahead of a pre-planned half-term break and is said to return to the helm of the show on June 5th, and we wonder if she will even make it that far before she is axed or steps down, as her co-worker, Phillip, put it. So, the question remains. What will Holly Willoughby do now? Will she shake off the bad smell that is following her every move and gaining more and more toxicity by the day? Blinkerhole doubts that even the Queen of Clean herself, Kim Woodburn, could clean up this torrid mess. Lovey. Please like and subscribe for more journeys through the Blinkerhole. For entertainment purposes only.